Don't let the cardigan and the mug of tea fool you. I'm something of a rebel when it comes to the world of education. My most controversial take is that I believe in some ways, D&D can teach us as much as school can. And if you stick around for the rest of the video, you have my personal guarantee that I can turn your brain from to this.
May I suggest that on the 7th bar of the Adagio Andante that you add a little fortissimo on the arpeggiated B-flat scale.
Wow!
Speaking of the arpeggiated B-flat scale, you know what maybe, probably, and even sort of makes people smarter? Music. I decided to make this video when I had an epiphany. I realized that classical music goes friggin' hard, and I love it. I had this realization while creating a campaign that took place in a magical Victorian England setting. The music created such an amazing tone. Imagine your husband dies, so the new lord, your nephew-in-law, who has a diamond mine in the US, moves into your home and is the new head of the house. And he might kick you and your daughters out of the home at any moment, so you start to work together. You start getting investors for their diamond mine, but shock! The diamonds are fake! So you cook up a scheme to run him out of town by getting all this trickery in writing and notify the proper authorities so he has to leave the country or get arrested. And right as he realizes you've tricked him and you will once more be head of the house, the chorus hits. No feeling quite like that. The point is, without D&D, I never would have realized how much I like this kind of music, and while writing emails, I would look way less epic. Listening to intense classical music feels like when I really just look like this. Through D&D, I learned that I love classical music, but it can reveal your interest in pretty much any subject. Maybe while writing your character description, you discover a love for fiction writing. Or when you try drawing your character for the first time, it reveals your passion for art. There are limitless possibilities here. As can be seen by me choosing to create a D&D campaign in Victorian England, I get pretty bored with traditional high fantasy settings. So I make most of my campaigns in unique worlds. This requires research which, not to sound like a total narc, can be pretty fun when it's about something you find interesting. Researching stuff for my Victorian campaign, I learned that Londoners were kind of obsessed with death. They would even import mummies and host parties to show them off. So in my campaign, I made the undead a key component to the story. Creating a pirate-themed campaign, I learned that the largest fleet of ships was controlled by a woman named Ching Shi, with 1,800 ships, which is way more than Blackbeard's measly 4 ships.
Oh god.
So, of course, I made a cool character based on her. When I was working on my Studio Ghibli video, right here, I learned about Torii Gates, which in Shinto symbolically mark off where our world meets the spiritual world of Kami's spirits. So, in my campaign, I made Torii Gates a literal gateway to the spirit world. Basically, if you want an excuse to learn about different cultures, history, and religion, so you can get big-brained, create a D&D campaign or one-shot. So far, most of these only work if you are the DM, but just by playing D&D, you can become a genius. Let me tell you a quick fable and transport you to a truly magical place. I was DMing for a group of kids, all new to playing D&D, in a setting that was basically a Candyland fantasy high school drama, which to me kinda looks like... The kids were getting lectured about the importance of adventuring safety in preparation for their first outing. So all of you are meant to stick with your pre-assigned groups. Anyone who goes off track will get a detention slip. I cannot stress this enough. You all need to stick with one another. Sounds like she needs a cough drop. I'm sorry? Nothing. No, if you're gonna say something to me, you say it to my face. We can settle this outside. Grab your weapon. The player looked at me and said, "Oh my god, this is like real. Can I just start over?" This example shows that, at least anecdotally, D&D can teach people about empathy, and I think emotional intelligence is perhaps the best type of intelligence. But we don't only have to rely on stories. Fortunately,
we've got science!
There are 2 studies that add weight to this theory. One measured if people who play fantasy role-playing games show higher levels of empathy compared to people who measured this using a Davis IRI and the Telegin. The other study looked at if role-playing games influence young adults' moral reasoning. They found that role-players showed a reduction in personal interest, self-transcendence, and an increased in normation and post-conventional. They measured this using...
What the
hell is even that?
Okay, put way too simply, the first study found that D&D players are better at showing empathy, probably because they're constantly embodying people other than themselves. The second found that, if prompted to create good characters, players show moral growth, being more likely to help the group instead of only helping themselves. D&D can improve diplomacy skills, communication, build teamwork, and prepare people to manage difficult crises. It can also prompt them to be more kind, understanding, and helpful, and I think that's pretty great. If you want to join a D&D campaign with kids and teens like you, check out the link in our bio and the description. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and feel free to subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.